Can you believe this is the last TBR of this year? Outrageous! And I realised I could have worn nice Christmassy earrings, but instead I decided to wear Frida Kahlo ones. What you gonna do about it? Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome back to my channel. Got my festive jumper on as we are entering December. Oh my goodness. So, if anyone follows me on Goodreads, they will have observed that I have not been doing so well on my TBR goal, so I wanted to get to under 100. Now, as of now, when I am filming this, I'm on 148, and I reckon before the end of November I can get that down by 3 or 4, but I have a strategy, so I would like it to be around 135 to 130 by the end of the year, which sounds like a lot, but I think it's doable because I'm going to try and read short books. So let me just try and whiz through these. She says, the Queen of Rambles. So we have a short story collection called People from My Neighbourhood by Hiromi Kawakami. This is one that I picked up when I just happened to buy 3 books by Asian authors, and I'm not mad about it. So it's a short story collection. They're very short. I think they're very weird. Literally all I know about it, I think I saw Jane Campbell recommend it and thought, well, that'll do for me. Then, a classic that is on my 2020 classics list that I wanted to read is Orlando by Virginia Woolf, because I think this is an interesting book. It's about, I think, a person, it's only 230 pages. It's about a person who changes gender as they go throughout time, so they're kind of reinvented as a man or a woman, and it just sounds fascinating. Then we have another Asian book, Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. So this is one of the books that was in my first line challenge that my sister read me first lines and I ranked which order I would like them in, and this one and the next ones were all in that challenge, and she chose mainly short ones apart from my longest book on my whole TBR, which is The Mirror and the Light. So I'm going to try and get through the short ones so I can be encouraged to get to that long one, and then I can do another video like that. But this, I think, is a time travelling story where you can I think you go into a cafe and you can time travel, but you have to get back before the coffee gets cold, otherwise you're trapped. That's all I know. I could be totally wrong, but it sounds cool. I've heard mainly good things about this. Then another book, it's non-fiction, is Chernobyl Prayer by Svetlana Alexievich, who wrote Last Witnesses, that I read in non-fiction November and adored. Definitely going to be a book of the year, so maybe really want to get to this one now because my sister has read this one and not the other ones. Now I want her to read that one and we'll kind of do a swap. So this is just her interviewing people who I think lived in Chernobyl after the nuclear disaster and just examines the aftermath of that. And then I have a short story collection, Heads of the Coloured People by Nafisa Thompson Spires. 12 short stories. Again, it's short, everyone's raving about this, would like to read, because I have so many short story collections. Then a book that is also quite timely, I suppose. This is Histories by Sam Guglani, which is looking at, I think, a doctor in... No, just different characters in an NHS hospital over the period of a week. So feels like a good time to be reading this. Then another short story collection. Wow, trying to get through those. This is The Redemption of Galen Pike by, I feel like that's a Welsh name. Caris Davies. Her. An author that I love, Elizabeth McNeil. She raved about this on her Instagram story. So yeah, really excited to read this. Know absolutely nothing about it, but it's published by Salt Publishing Press, which is a really small publishing press that I know is struggling, and I bought this to kind of support them. So check them out. I will leave a link to their publishing collection below. They seem to have a really interesting selection of poetry, short story and fiction. And then a play. Wow, going through all these different genres. The Duchess of Malfi by John Webster, which is another book that was on my 20 classics to read in 2020. So I think I can get through this. I'm not sure if I find it a bit dry because, you know, this is old, this is centuries old. I don't tend to read anything from this period apart from Shakespeare, so, and it's very hard not to compare it to Shakespeare, but I would like to read this because I've had this on my shelf for a very, very long time. And then, another Asian book that was in my First Lines challenge, If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Karamura, which I think I bought the end of 2018, right at the end. So it would be nice to read this because I've had this for almost 2 years now. And it kind of, I think what it sounds like, it's a bit strange. I think it's Japanese. I think he's a Japanese author, but I'm just interested by the premise of that. Then, Blonde Roots by Bernardine Evaristo, because I have loved Go Woman Other. That was my favourite book of this year. I also loved Mr. Loverman by her, which is kind of a companion novel to this, but this is very different. This is an inverted slavery novel where white people are the slaves. So I think it's set in more modern day. I'm not sure if it's set in the same time period, so if it overlaps with the same centuries, but I just have absolute faith that I will love this because it's Bernardine Evaristo and it's nice to read her backlist and not just the one book that won the award. And then we've got some poetry collections to kind of round off with. So we have The Perseverance by Raymond Attribis, who is a deaf poet, and I think part of that is about language and the loss of communication and the different ways to communicate. Some of it is about, I think, racism, because he himself, I think he's biracial. Yes, English mother, Jamaican father. And it's just had all the hype, as has this one, Surge by J. Bernard. Is it Bernard? I think he's American, so... No, he's not American. No, he's not. Take it all back. I am wrong. But he is looking at the New Cross Fire in 1981, where in South London there was a house fire where 13 people, black people specifically, were killed, and basically England didn't care about it because they were black. And then he, I think, draws a line from that to Grenfell Tower, and is talking about, I think, blackness, but also he's queer, so I think it's about that too. I don't know, if Simon Savage and Jen Campbell recommend a poetry collection, you just flip and buy it, you know? I love this cover. Very, very cool. Although this, I keep thinking this is a sticker. It's not a sticker. But that's okay. Anyway. And the last one is Flesh by Mary Jean Chan, who is South Korean and is about queerness and the body and navigating different languages and that kind of thing, because this is a French word, but I didn't, put a French accent on it. Oh wait, I remembered there's another one I want to read that I guess is short. Not a happy one, but V for Vendetta by Alan Moore, and I presume illustrated by David Lloyd, because I watched the film donkeys ages ago, and this is I think I've had this again for 2 years this December, and it's bleak, but I think it's a kind of not quite dystopian, but that sort of political thing where everything's gone a bit mad and it's about people taking back control, but I very, very vaguely remember it, so that's probably all wrong. But I would like to read this because it's got pictures, so it's quick, it's hardly any text, so, whack that in there, why not? And then some honourable mentions. I very much doubt, since I'm filming this with 4 days left of November, that I will finish Lady Audley's Secret, because I have 400 pages left. So, unless I miraculously read 100 pages a day, which is probably not going to happen, I want to finish this. And then I also want to read... Sorry, no, this is a lot, but we're going. High Wages by Dorothy Whipple. It's not too bad. This is one I'm kind of saving. Oh, it's 316 pages. That's not bad. I'm kind of saving this for the Christmas week when I can just completely take time off and read, because I think I will read this quite quickly. And it's the only Persephone book I own that I haven't read, and I kind of want to buy more, but I feel like I can't really justify buying more until I read this one. So there you go. And then, last but not least, the big one. This is The Karamazov Brothers, or The Brothers Karamazov, whichever translation you have, by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And I will be listening to this on audiobook, don't you worry. So that's my plan to get through it. I can probably listen to it double speed, and it's long. It's really, this is 870 pages. Wow. So I have big plans for December. But short books I think are the way forward, and I reckon I can get through a good amount of these. I don't want to say all of them. I will not get through all of them. But I am excited, and I have got a usual, oh my gosh, I need to read everything panic. So I feel like if I read short books and then can read more, I will feel more productive. And even though I won't have got under 100 books by TBR by the end of the year, I still would have made pretty good progress. So, making peace with that, making peace. There'll be new TBR goals next year, I am sure. But I will stop rambling, and I would like to know what you want to read for the end of the year. / do you have a TBR video? Let me know, and I will see you soon. Well, that was weird. And, there we go, I will see you soon for more bookish shenanigans. Bye!